Hey everybody, what's going on? It's really Eevee Dustin, and today I'm bringing you something a little different. I'm going to show you how to get an Eevee in Pokemon Black and White 2, but the thing about this Eevee is it has a special ability. I would kind of recommend this Eevee, but just so everybody knows, you cannot get this Eevee unless you have beaten the Elite Four already. It will not work unless you have beaten the Elite Four. So that out of the way, you're going to want to go to Castelia City, run all the way to the left until you hit where the Pokemon Gym is located. Just run up here, and I don't know if there's another building on here. I've actually never checked. But you just go in here, building on the left, and I was still holding the left thing. Go in the elevator. You're going to want to go to the 3rd floor as soon as it lets me. Alright, once you're up here, you're going to want to talk to her, it's Fennel. I already have talked to her, and I didn't mean to talk to you again. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel important, because you're not. I did pull out the Eevee, so you guys can see. It is level 10. It will know Tackle, Tail Whip, Sand Attack, Growl, and Anticipation. Senses a foe's dangerous moves. What that does is, if the Pokemon knows Anticipation, it will basically warn you if the foe has a super effective or a one-hit KO move. It does not alert the wielder, so Eevee in a sense. It will not alert Eevee if the one-hit KO moves cannot hit it. And if you use Skill Swap or Roleplay to get Anticipation, it will work. And something interesting to note, no matter what you decide to evolve this Eevee into, if you decide to, that Pokemon will have its hidden ability. So if you evolve into Leafeon, it'll have Chlorophyll. When it is sunny, the Pokemon's double speed, or double its speed. I totally thought I just got tongue-tied there. Its speed will double during like sunny day, but once sunny day ends, or if a new weather moves such as Rain Dance or Hail or whatever comes into play, your speed will just go back down to normal. However, that's kind of a double-edged sword because Leafeon is grass that's weak to fire. Sunny Day raises the attack of fire, so yeah, I wouldn't recommend that one very much. And if it uses if they have a fire type Pokemon, that is. Just a double-edged sword ability, really. Glaceon will know Ice Body. Its HP will be restored when it's hailing. That's pretty self-explanatory. Jolteon will have Quick Feet. Its speed will be increased by 50% when it is induced with a status infliction such as Burn, Poison, Sleep, Frozen, Paralysis. We all know them. If it is paralyzed, the speed drop is completely ignored. And a little interesting thing to note is if you use Quick Feet, if the Pokemon has Quick Feet and the Pokemon that knows it is leading the party, so the first one in your party, the wild encounter rate gets dropped by 50%, so that's pretty useful, kind of. And considering Jolteon's already really fast, if it's inflicted with a status infliction, it's going to be even faster. Vaporeon will know Hydration, all status problems, Burn, Paralysis, Sleep, Frozen, Poison, you get it, are healed when it is raining, so in a sense you could, I don't know if Vaporeon can learn Rest or not, but if it could, you could use Rest when your HP is low, get your full HP back, and then wake up at the end of the turn, as long as it's raining. So it can be very, very useful. Flareon will know Guts. Its attack raises to 1.5 times when induced with a status infliction. Obviously, again, Burn, Paralyze, Sleep, Poison, Freeze. And Burn's effect of lowering the attack is not... It's not there. It's gone. Okay, and it's actually, well, I should note that Guts is actually a very good ability to have. Espeon knows Magic Bounce. It can reflect the effect of a stat-changing move, or just kind of moves, some moves in general, such as Foresight, Spikes, Stealth Rock, Toxic Spikes, stuff like that. And I should also note a few things on here, because I was having a kind of confusing time reading this, and I was looking all this stuff up. I will read this off to you, just so you guys can get it too. The wielder is unaffected by certain non-damaging moves that target it, and instead will redirect such moves to the original user. The accuracy check occurs after the move is redirected. Moves can only be redirected once. If both Pokemon have Magic Bounce, only the ability of the target triggers. So if you had the two Espeons with both Magic Bounce, and the foe's Espeon used a move on you, like, say you're competitive battling and it uses Toxic Spikes. I don't even know if I can learn that, but hypothetically, let's say it can. Your ability will activate and you'll redirect it, and theirs will not. So, I hope that makes sense. Okay, similarly, if the wielder uses a move that will be redirected on a Pokemon using Magic Coat, the move will be redirected back to the wielder and Magic Bounce will not take effect. Spikes, Stealth Rock, and Toxic Spikes can only be redirected once per side by the leftmost Pokemon under this effect. If a move that will be redirected by Magic Bounce has multiple targets, such as Tail Whip, it will successfully activate on a Pokemon in order from left to right until it targets the wielder, at which point the attack is redirected and it will not target other Pokemon. So Tail Whip will continue targeting. They can have 6 Pokemon, and it will go left to right until it hits the one that used it. So if the one that used it is the first one that gets hit by it, it won't be redirected to anybody else. It'll stop right there. When such moves are redirected, the wielder will target each Pokemon that it is able to. The abilities Lightning Rod and Storm Drain redirect their respective moves before this ability takes effect. I've recorded this a few times now because I've kind of messed up a few times, and I have actually mispronounced Lightning Rod every single time. I've said like Lightning Grod or Raj or something every time. I don't know why. Alright, and finally you have Umbreon, who know Inner Focus, which Pokemon who know Inner Focus cannot flinch. However, that does not prevent the flinching of Focus Punch. So if, say, something knew Inner Focus and had Focus Punch, if you used Focus Punch and got hit, it won't prevent the flinching from that. You will still flinch. But Umbreon can't even learn Focus Punch. I was actually kind of curious if it could, so I went over and looked it up, and it cannot even learn Focus Punch. However, it can learn Sucker Punch, which I find it weird that it can even learn a move at all, but it can only learn Sucker Punch by the move tutor. I just find it weird that it can learn it at all.